The city buzzed like it always did, restless, loud, alive. Renee Williams walked briskly down Eastwood Street, heels clicking against the pavement, phone pressed to her ear. Her mind wasn't on the conversation. It was on the job interview she had tomorrow, and the man who still hadn't replied to her last message. And then there was her mother. "Renee, please," her mom had begged over breakfast. "Don't walk through Eastwood this week. I had a terrible dream. Just avoid it." Renee had laughed it off. Her mother always had a bad feeling about something. She didn't believe in dreams or signs. She believed in logic and hard work. But now, as she neared the corner by the old train station, her steps slowed. There he was. A man, barefoot and dirty, crouched on the edge of the sidewalk. His clothes were torn, skin sunburnt and cracked, lips whispering something only he could hear. People gave him space, like they were afraid his madness was contagious. Renee was about to pass him when he looked up, directly at her. "You in red," he said, his voice suddenly clear. "Don't go near the water. The crying isn't yours, but when it calls your name, it'll be too late." She froze. She was wearing red, a fitted red blouse and a black pencil skirt. Her heart stuttered. "What?" she asked, frowning. The man stood up, slowly. He looked wild, but there was something terrifyingly focused in his eyes. "Renee, daughter of Evelyn, your shadow has been touched." Her breath caught. Her mother's name was Evelyn. No stranger should know that. "Who told you my name?" she demanded. The man stepped closer, his voice firm. "You saw it last night. The hand. The fire. It wasn't a dream." Renee's blood ran cold. She had dreamed of fire, a burning room, a hand reaching out of it. But she hadn't told anyone. She took a step back. "You're crazy." He dropped to his knees and started laughing, a strange, hollow laugh that didn't match the panic curling inside her. People nearby shook their heads. One woman muttered, "These street people always saying nonsense." Another man scoffed, "Ignore him, madam. He's always seeing visions." Renee forced a laugh, waved it off, and walked away. But her palms were sweaty. Her chest was tight. Behind her, the laughter changed. He was crying now. "She will regret it. She will regret it. She will regret it." That night, Renee tossed and turned in bed, unable to shake the feeling. The man's words looped in her mind. She sat up at 2:43 a.m., sweating, heart racing. The room was silent, but then a soft cry. A baby? She frowned. No one in her building had a baby. Then she realized it wasn't coming from outside. It was coming from her closet. Renee's throat went dry. She got out of bed slowly, heart pounding. She stepped closer to the door. And then she heard it, whispered, low and terrifying. "Renee." It was her name, spoken by something waiting in the dark. Renee stood still. She was scared, very scared. Someone, or something, had just said her name, and it came from inside her closet. She looked at the door. It was closed, but the sound had come from behind it. A soft baby cry. Then the whisper. She wanted to run, but her feet couldn't move. Her hands slowly reached for the closet knob. Her heart was beating fast. Boot, boot, boot. "Stop it," she told herself. "It's nothing. Just a dream." But she was awake. She opened the closet door. Nothing was there. Just clothes. An old bag. She sighed. "I'm just tired. That madman got into my head." She shut the door and went back to bed. But sleep didn't come. Not for a long time. The next morning, her mother called again. Renee, are you okay? Her mom asked. I'm fine, Renee said, forcing a smile. Why? I had the dream again, her mom said. The crying, the fire, and you were in it. Renee's hand shook a little, but she laughed. Mom, please. It's just a dream. Dreams are warnings, her mom said softly. Please listen this time. Renee didn't answer. She said goodbye and ended the call. Later that day, she got ready for her job interview. She wore a blue blouse and black pants this time. No more red. She passed the same street where she saw the madman. He wasn't there. She looked around. The spot was empty. Renee frowned. Strange. A small boy selling groundnuts walked up to her. Are you looking for the crazy man, Auntie? He asked. Yes, she said. Do you know where he went? He's gone, the boy said. They say he disappeared last night. Some people said they saw him walk into a wall. Renee blinked. Walk into a wall? Yes. Then he vanished. Like smoke. She shivered. That night, the baby cried again. Renee sat up quickly. Not again, she whispered. But this time, it wasn't just crying. There were footsteps. Slow ones. Soft ones. Coming from the hallway outside her room. Then came the whisper again. Renee, open the door. She ran to her window. Looked outside. No one. She rushed back to her bed, pulled the blanket over her head, and started praying. But the whisper came one more time, closer now. You didn't listen. You didn't listen. You didn't listen. The next morning, Renee was tired. Her eyes were red and she felt weak. She had barely slept. She looked at the closet. It was quiet now. No baby. No whisper. Just silence. I must be going crazy, she said to herself. But when she went to the bathroom to wash her face, she saw something in the mirror that made her freeze. A small black handprint was on her shoulder. Not dirt. Not paint. It looked like it came from inside her skin. She scrubbed and scrubbed, but the mark didn't go away. Renee didn't tell anyone. Not even her mom. She didn't want to worry her. That afternoon, her phone rang. It was Mr. Lewis, the rich man offering her the job. Renee, the interview went well, he said. We want you to join our team. But there's one more thing. What is it? Renee asked. We're doing a private boat meeting tomorrow. Important people. I want you there. Renee paused. A boat? That meant water. The madman's voice echoed in her mind. Don't go near the water. Her chest tightened. Can I skip it and come to the office next week instead? She asked. No, Mr. Lewis said. This is your big chance. You'll meet powerful people. It's once in a lifetime. Renee looked around her small room. Her broken fan. The unpaid rent notice. She needed this job. She took a deep breath. I'll come. The next morning, Renee dressed in a neat white blouse and navy skirt. She stood at the dock, watching the boat on the river. The sky was clear. The water looked calm. She stepped onto the boat. At first, everything went well. The men smiled at her. They gave her juice. They asked her about her dreams. She was starting to relax. But then, the clouds changed. The water moved roughly. And that's when she heard it. A baby crying. She turned quickly. Did you hear that? She asked the woman beside her. Hear what? The woman said, confused. The baby crying, Renee whispered. No babies here. Renee walked to the edge of the boat. The water below was turning black. She leaned a little closer. And then, a hand shot out of the water. But what? It grabbed her wrist. Renee screamed. The others rushed over. But when they looked, nothing was there. Just water. Renee was shaking. Her wrist was ice cold. She looked down, and the black handprint had returned. That night she cried, "I should have listened. I should have listened." But it was already too late. Renee couldn't sleep again. She sat on her bed, hugging her knees, tears in her eyes. Her wrist still felt cold. The black handprint was darker now. It pulsed like a bruise that wouldn't heal. She picked up her phone and called her mom. "Mom," she whispered. Her mother heard her shaky voice. "Renee, what's wrong?" "I didn't listen," Renee said. "The dream, the madman, the crying baby, it's all real." There was silence on the other end. Then her mother said, "Come home." "I want to find him first," Renee said. "The madman. He knew my name. He knew everything." "Renee, please don't." But she had already ended the call. The next day, Renee went back to the street where she first saw him. She asked everyone. The man who wore torn clothes, where did he go? Some people said he had died. Some said he disappeared. One woman said he flew into the sky like smoke. Renee didn't believe any of it. She kept walking. Then, just before sunset, she found an old shoe shiner sitting by a wall. "I saw you talking to him," he said. "That day." Renee turned quickly. "You knew him?" The man nodded. His name was Elijah. But people called him Crazy Eli. Long ago, he was a church worker. He saw things others couldn't. What happened to him? One day, he ran into the market screaming about fire, about babies in water, and about a girl in red. They laughed at him, even beat him. He never spoke full words again until you came. Renee's throat went dry. "Do you know where he is now?" The man pointed down the road. "There's an old prayer house near the bridge. He used to sleep behind it." Renee followed the path. It was quiet. Cold wind blew through the trees. She reached the old prayer house. It was broken and dark, but behind it was a small bench. On the bench, a black book. She opened it. The pages were filled with drawings. Rough ones. Of a crying baby. A woman in red. Fire. Water. Her face. Tears filled her eyes. Suddenly, she heard footsteps behind her. She turned fast. A small girl stood there. Maybe 7 years old. Barefoot. Wearing white. "Are you looking for the man?" the girl asked. "Yes," Renee whispered. "Do you know him?" The girl nodded. "He sent me. He said you're running out of time." Renee's lips trembled. "Why me?" The girl didn't answer. She looked at Renee's hand. "The baby will call again tonight," she said. "If you answer, you'll never come back." Renee's heart dropped. "What should I do?" The girl smiled sadly. "You'll know. But be careful. Regret is a heavy thing." She turned and walked into the trees. Renee tried to follow, but the girl was gone. That night, Renee couldn't move. Her room was freezing. Her lights flickered. Then came the crying. Soft at first. Then louder. "Renee!" She looked at the closet. But the sound wasn't there. It was coming from under her bed. Renee sat up in bed, shaking. The crying was louder now. It wasn't coming from her closet. Not from the hallway. It was coming from under her bed. She stood slowly. Her feet touched the cold floor. "Please," she whispered. "Leave me alone." But the crying didn't stop. She bent down, her hands shaking. She lifted the edge of the blanket. Darkness. Nothing but darkness under the bed. Two tiny eyes opened. A baby's face. But something was wrong. Its skin was dark like smoke. Its eyes glowed red. And when it smiled, it had no teeth. Only shadows. "Renee," it said in a whisper that didn't sound like a baby at all. She screamed and jumped back. The baby crawled out, but it didn't move like a baby. It slid like oil. Renee grabbed her Bible. She began to pray. "God, please help me. I should have listened. I should have listened." But the thing laughed. "Too late," it said. "You were warned. You ignored. And now, someone must pay." Then it vanished. Gone. Just like that. Renee didn't sleep again. In the morning, she packed her things and ran home to her mother. Her mother held her tightly. "What happened to you?" "I made a mistake," Renee whispered. "Something is following me." Her mother took her hand and placed oil on her forehead. "You are not alone," she said. "We will fight this." That night, Renee slept in her childhood room. She felt safe. Until her phone rang at 3 a.m. It was her cousin, Debbie. Renee picked up. "Hello." Debbie was crying. "Renee, where are you?" "My baby. Something took my baby." Renee sat up fast. What do you mean?" Debbie sobbed louder. "I heard a voice. It whispered your name. Then the baby started screaming. And now he's gone." Renee couldn't speak. She dropped the phone. Her mom rushed in. "What is it?" Renee's voice shook. "The baby, it took the baby. But not mine. Debbie's." She looked down at her arm. The black handprint was gone. Her hands were clean. She was free. But at what cost? Outside the house, a cold wind blew. And deep in the night, in a place no one could see, the madman stood under a tree, watching. But this time, he wasn't laughing. His eyes were empty, because he wasn't alive anymore. She thought he was just another crazy man on the street. But he saw what no one else could. And now, the one thing she ignored is the one thing she can never forget. Sometimes, the message that saves us comes from the voice we refuse to hear. Moral lesson: never judge a warning by the person who gives it. Sometimes, your greatest regret is the moment you laughed when you should have listened. 2. Sometimes the truth doesn't come from those who look powerful or wise. The warning you laugh at today might be the regret you carry forever. Never judge a message by the mouth that delivers it, and always listen to your spirit when something doesn't feel right. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, comment where you're watching from, and please subscribe. Thanks so much for watching.